Asgardians with Thor, HELA, and Valkyrie. And then I'm also bringing Hawkeye and Black Widow. And I really love playing the Asgardians. They're my favorite, pretty much my favorite to play right now. Thor has a really good leadership ability. And HELA I've never played before. This is my first time, so I'm really excited to try her out. And Valkyrie, just always a great character, as well as Hawkeye and Black Widow. My strategy is really just to, hopefully Thor will get the scroll. He's a strong character. He can hold his own. But if not, HELA would also be great. And then I want to put possibly HELA and Valkyrie together just to see how they work as a team. Thor up the middle and Hawkeye and Black Widow on the other side. My cards I'm bringing are 1-2 Punch, Odin's Blessing, Professionals, Unearthly Rage, and Seeing Red. And I've used a couple of these cards before. I've never used Professionals. That's for Black Widow and Hawkeye. It's kind of situational. Maybe I'll get a chance to play it. I hope I do. But we'll see what happens.
For my list today, I am bringing an unaffiliated list. I've been wanting to play a number of the heroes that you'll see today for a while together, and a lot of them don't really have a good cohesive team that they all fall under, especially somebody like the Punisher, who I've been wanting to play since the beginning of Marvel Crisis Protocol. So my unofficial team leader is Frank Castle, the Punisher. I am also bringing Ghost Rider, Nebula, Winter Soldier, and Venom along for this fun anti-hero foray. It's more of a thematic list, but I feel like all of them are powerful enough that they can handle their own. Ghost Rider will be my go-to person to grab the scroll, possibly Venom, the other person. I feel between the two of them, they can hold on to it well. Nebula obviously is not going to be able to hold on to anything, but she will be someone to add pressure to their side. Winter Soldier, he's there mainly so I can hold on to my own extremist consoles, and Frank Castle's there just to punish people where he needs to. For my cards this time, I am bringing Extreme Conditioning, Blood Red and Personal, Lethal Protector, Doomed Prophecy, and Deal with the Devil. The big one that I'm looking for on this one is the Doomed Prophecy. I'm hoping I can pull that off on the Punisher, because he can get some insane dice rolls if you can do that well. However, it is kind of a sacrificial move, so you've got to be careful. The other cards, like Extreme Conditioning, it's new. It allows you to move long for one turn. I think that's going to be fantastic. And the other cards, I have an idea of how I'll be using them in the game. And if they come up at any time, I'll definitely explain them then.
I got priority, and I am going to activate HELA. And this is the first time I've played HELA, so I'm pretty excited to do that. And she is going to roll for the scroll.
Obviously, she did not get it. I'm activating Bucky first. I thought that was a pretty safe bet because he's kind of a throwaway. I knew he was just going to be guarding the console, so I was able to use him to kind of get her to use other people instead of people that I want to activate.
Okay, so next I'm going for Thor. And I was really hoping Thor would get this girl because he can take a lot of damage. He's got good defense. And that was pretty true for HELA as well. Maybe not as much as Thor, but... And he gets it.
So that kind of sucked. As she said, he's kind of hard to beat, so I knew I had my work cut out for myself. So I started then with Nebula. I knew she can't grab an objective, she can't hold any objectives, but she is excellent for taking out people who are holding objectives. And lo and behold, Thor is right in front of her. So I decided that he'd make a good target to start whittling him down. I knew this wasn't going to take him out, but this could at least start inflicting some damage on him. So I just go with a basic energy attack, energy pistol. Since she has the assassin ability, what that means is I get to reroll dice during my attack if someone is holding an objective or has an objective token. Since he's got the scroll, that allowed me to reroll. And she ended up blocking 3 points. I did 2 on Thor.
Which is pretty significant this early. Okay, so there's Hawkeye. And I'm just going to get him up there on that truck. Taco truck? Is that what that is?
Yep, tacos. It's Deadpool's taco truck.
So if he gets hungry, he can get taco too.
He needs to focus.
Oh, he's focused.
On shooting people in the back, probably. Alright, so I activate Venom. And Venom's so good, but he needs power. So I'm just trying to get as close as I can. I knew I wasn't going to be able to contest. This is basically a setup for the next round.
Okay, and then there's Valkyrie. I'm bringing her in to help out. She's gonna be HELA's little sidekick. And I don't know, I just thought they'd make a good team. Thought I'd try it out.
It made sense to me, and that's a terrifying duo there. So you did just declare a charge?
Yes, yeah. Valkyrie's charging Venom. Give you that power you're wanting. Hopefully.
No. Do not want.
That's like my favorite thing about Valkyrie is her charge. I love it.
Turn 1 charge.
Yeah. And it's 3 damage. 3 hits.
Got a decent 4 defense, so wasn't too worried about it. But you've got to actually roll. So she knocked off a couple points off of Venom. So the person I've been waiting the most for since the beginning of Marvel Crisis, Frank, the Punisher. I finally got him. He's going to go up and target the most annoying character on her side, which is Valkyrie. So I'm just going to do hip shot. It's a nice attack. It's a 0 cost and it has rapid fire. I did 3 hits there.
Yeah, you couldn't wait to play Punisher.
Nope, I basically painted him in one day.
I didn't even try to say I wanted to play him. I just knew.
And all that went through, so I hit you for 3.
That hurt.
And then I hit you for another 3, or did 3 hits. But you stupidly blocked them all. You should have just taken it.
I don't think so. Okay, Black Widow. 2-point Black Widow. And I'm just gonna get her over there by the
Extremist console.
yes.
Which leaves me with Ghost Rider. He is my heavy hitter in this list. I love Ghost Rider. And he's going to target Thor with the Chains of Damnation. And woo boy, look at that. Somebody's been a naughty boy. I didn't get the follow-up hits, but 6. That was nice.
That was enough. That was good. We're good with that. That hurt.
But you blocked enough of it, so I hit you for 3. But again, that was a great start for round 1 for both sides, I think.
I am activating Valkyrie, and I'm gonna use the leadership ability to heal one of her damages. So pay 1 power to do that. And checking to see if I'm in range of Venom. And I'm going to use the 1-2 punch card, team tactic card. So Hela and I are going to attack Venom.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I've kind of learned to get my team tactic cards in early because sometimes if I wait too long, I just don't use them. So that was 8.
I got defensive 4, block 2, so Venom is dazed right off the bat. However, that does have an action on the game now. So Frank gets a Fallen token, and Hela gets a Claim Souls token. So I'm going to... Oh, I'm sorry. Still Valkyrie. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah, she's just going to move back. Out of the way.
Now I'm going for a little bit of payback with Frank. I was very excited about this round. And you'll see why in just a second. So I'm out of range for hip shot on Valkyrie, so I decided I'm just going to try to pink off some damage on Hela with some hip shots. And not great start, just 2 hits. I guess 50-50 there.
And I blocked it. Hela thought that was adorable.
Shut it! Try it again! Yeah, evidently I was a little irate because I only hit 1 this time.
And it looks like I blocked it.
Yes. However, that was not the exciting part of this round.
It was exciting for me.
Well, I just couldn't help but notice that Valkyrie was within 4, so I finally got a chance to use Warzone. Blew up that piece of terrain, shrapnel in the face. It was fantastic. And that's the end of Frank's turn.
Okay, so Hela is going to attack the Punisher. That was so rude what you did to Valkyrie. And...
Oh, no, he hit me pretty hard still. And I took it all. Ah, I took it all.
So he's dazed.
Yes. That whole side of the board is now dazed. Ugh. And since she was claimed soul and she took me out, that was 2 claimed souls for her.
I think that's captured souls.
I'm sorry, captured souls.
I kept wanting to call it collective soul.
So now Nebula is going after Thor with a shock sword assault. Say that 3 times fast. Again, he's holding the scroll, so the assassin ability kicks in. And that was a pretty decent roll. 4. You only have 1 health at this point, too.
Yeah.
And you took it all.
I did.
So that allowed me to move Nebula away from Thor, range 1, I believe. Yeah. So that allowed me to now target Valkyrie with energy pistol attack because she totally deserves it.
Wow.
Totally deserves it. She's not holding anything, so my initial roll is all I get, no rerolls. And she blocks it. But at least you dropped the scroll.
Alright, so Hawkeye. Now I'm gonna move him in range of the Punisher.
No, you took the Punisher out. That's not the Punisher.
Oh, Bucky. They look so similar from this distance.
And used a hook shot to get there.
Yes.
That's 5. And that's 5. God bless.
Bucky's dazed.
And you still have 1 more action.
Yes. Nebula.
You and your back shooting ways.
I mean, to me, it looks like she's not facing the other way. She knew it was coming.
Cybernetic allowed me to reroll, so I ended up only taking 1 damage there. And I'll heal that at the beginning of next round, so that's pretty cool. Nebula is a beastly 2-point character.
She is. She's awesome.
So that allowed me to activate now Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider gained power for getting Winter Soldier hurt next to him. Dazed. I grabbed the scroll, and now I'm just moving over, setting kind of up for the next round again.
And Black Widow's, well, at first I wanted her to just stay there, but then I decided I wanted to move her just a little closer to Hawkeye there. So I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'm finished.
Alright, so I'm going to start round 3 with Venom. I'm trying to do my most powerful attack here, because I really need to take out HELA, if possible. I know We Are Venom is more for getting health back, and I was at full health, but thought it was a good try anyways. But I rolled abysmally. 2 hits. That is not going to do anything.
Well, it might do something, but not as much as you wanted.
Yeah, not when you roll like that. So I went ahead with the symbiote tendrils, try to get some power. Not great again. Hit for 3.
HELA is unimpressed.
Yeah, she was on fire this whole game. So I went ahead and used Clintar Rage to throw HELA at VALKYRIE. Try to do some damage.
Okay, so VALKYRIE is next. And she is going to charge Punisher and attack. Okay, and she's going to attack Punisher with Dragon Fang. But then Andy uses lethal protection.
Protector.
Okay.
And a damn good reason I did.
Yeah, I rolled very well.
Yeah, there's no way Punisher would have survived that. Yeah, she basically just one-shot Venom there. He was at full health, on his injured side granted, but he was at 100% health, and she just one-shot him.
Okay, so VALKYRIE is now going to take a shot at Punisher with a strike. And she does not do as well.
Thank goodness. So now it's time for retaliation shot. I'm going after HELA, since VALKYRIE just went. I figured using 2 of the fallen tokens on HELA with an aim shot would work well. I was wrong. I don't know. The dice really hated me right now. Yeah, I think maybe 1 point went through? No. None. So I'm doing this again, and here's where I make a mistake. I used my last fallen token That's not a legal move. No second chances says you can only use it once per turn. Obviously, that's twice. And the dice gods punished me for doing that. Sort of.
Yeah, I think I took 2 damage from that.
Yeah. But I put the slow and stun on you, but you shook the stun, actually, with the Asgard ability. You still have slow, though. That's what the check mark means. It's slow.
Okay, so Hela's going to go after the Punisher now. And I think I'm using 2 extra dice because of my captured soul tokens. I turned 2 in.
That's a good hit, especially on Punisher. 2 crits.
Yeah, I think it was 5 successes total.
And I ended up blocking 3 of those. So at least a little luck on my side.
And then final action was to get rid of her bleed.
Yeah. So then Ghost Rider's up. Moved up just a smidge to get into range. Want to do the penance stare on Thor because he's got a very evil, corrupted soul. What's beautiful about that one is you add the number of power up to 5 to the attack. So this was a strength 10 attack on Thor. It's Mystic, which generally people have poor defense against.
I think Thor has 3 defense, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a okay hit. I hit for 5.
And Thor's soul is not corrupted.
It's very corrupted.
It is not, it's pure.
We'll just find out when you roll that defense. Alright, yeah. So, 4 went through, which drained 4 power, which caused this to happen.
So Thor is charging Ghost Rider.
In a very roundabout way.
Yeah, I'd lost a lot of power. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You moved when you realized you wanted to go with Ghost Rider, which is why you're closer now.
Right.
The first strike didn't do too much. No wild either. Second strike a little bit better, but you got your wild. And I didn't block much of that.
Okay, so because I rolled a wild, I can throw Ghost Rider over there.
So I'm grabbing Nebula now. Going after Black Widow. I have to get in range to see her. Just using the energy pistol on her. And because she's on that console, I get a reroll because of the assassin ability. Ended up hitting for 2. And you blocked one of those.
Okay, so Hawkeye is going to attack Ghost Rider.
Yeah, we missed the actual initial roll, but she was able to knock off the last few points on Ghost Rider. Ended up dazing him. So I'm dropping my scroll. I've always said Nikki rolls her best when the camera's not rolling. She rolls insanely well.
So I guess I paid a power to get the scroll, and I'm going to attack, I believe, Nebula. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you're trying to see if you could hit Winter Soldier.
So 3 successes. And you blocked 1, I think.
Yeah, well, I do now. I blocked 1. And she shocked me. Which actually I think we realized you can't do. Because it's Nebula. But,
oh, that's right.
But we'll find out why that doesn't matter in a minute. Alright, so Winter Soldier versus Thor. I was really high up on power, so I decided to use Red Fury. Started with 4 damage. And she used Odin's Blessing to reduce that to 1. I did roll wild, so I got an assault rifle shot with that now. And 1 whole damage there. Which you handily block. So I still had enough. I went ahead and did Red Fury again. This time I hit for 3. And you failed to block any of that. So, young Buckard there just took out Thor. Go Bucky.
Alright, so Black Widow. And she is going to attack Nebula.
And I failed to stop any of that, so she dazed her. And that's the round. So one of my favorite Punisher storylines was the Suicide Run. And that's basically what I'm doing here. I have used the Doom Prophecy Team Tactics card, which means I get no defense for basically one full rotation of Punisher. So until I activate the next time, no defense, but all of that physical defense goes into my offense, which means my hip shots. So I'm using a hip shot on Valkyrie with Doom Prophecy. And what's great is that affects all my attacks. So, first round, really good. I ended up hitting for 4. And took her, dazed her. And then I went with a hip shot using 2 of my the Fallen tokens, legally this time, on HELA for 10 dice. And another good shot. I felt like I deserved this. I mean, my goodness. All the stuff she's been doing to me all game. The Punisher completely redeemed himself right here.
I'm glad you're happy, Andy.
Well, thank you. Frank deserves to be happy.
He does. He's a good guy.
And I dazed her as well. Oh my gosh.
Just dazing people left and right, aren't you?
Right. And then I used one more point to heal myself for a point on the Extremist console.
Okay, so Hawkeye versus Winter Soldier.
Hit me for 3. And I blocked 2 of that.
And I'm wondering why I didn't try to go after Punisher, but I think I know why.
That would have been very... Well, you had the scroll on you. That would have been...
I had the scroll, and I wanted to get to the... I think I was just taking what I could get right now, because I knew you were having a really good round. I would have had to move up, probably.
Oh, yeah. You definitely would have.
So I've got the scroll, so I want to get away. And I'm using the hook shot to...
Run away, little girl.
Whatever. Little girls are the best.
They grow up to be kick-ass people like Nebula, Black Widow, so yeah.
Absolutely. Jeez, Andy. I'm sitting right next to you. I can hit you, you know.
Which she just did, for the record.
It's a light shove.
So shock sword attack on Black Widow. Pretty good hit there. And that dazed her as well. I'm on a dazing spree this round.
Just wait till I get my revenge. But great job, Nebula. She's good.
She's good, yeah. So yeah, that leaves me with Ghost Rider. I couldn't make it all the way over the car without hanging off the edge, so I just went onto the car to be fully on. I wanted to make sure that Hawkeye couldn't get this console, and I wanted the point. I was down on points. I needed them badly. So I went ahead, and instead of doing 2 attacks, I went ahead and moved, and then I'm going to do an attack. But at least now I'm contesting that. And I'm going to use that Chains of Damnation on Hawkeye, because my goodness, if anyone needs some damnation.
Again, Hawkeye is pure.
Ha! I can maybe believe that for Thor. Alright, I hit him for 3. You did see Endgame, right? And you ended up blocking one of that. So you took 2 damage. Unfortunately, not enough to daze him as well. That would have been so awesome. Daze everyone in 1 round, but that did not happen.
No. It's a good thing our daughter isn't here to hear you badmouth Hawkeye.
I know, right? She destroyed me. But at least I hexed him. Winter Soldier. Actually, I just stayed there and healed myself for 1 on that console.
Okay, so Valkyrie's up. And she's going to attack the Punisher with Dragon Fang.
Now, I'm still under Doom, so I have no defense. I can't defend anything here.
So I'm thinking, this is going to be a piece of cake. And I completely fail.
That's just how badass Frank is.
Sure, it's all to do with him.
He was very intimidating. That's what's going on here.
So I strike with the card, Team Tactic card, Unearthly Rage, and I still do horribly. I get one hit.
Frank, again, being a badass. Now, I could have activated him to get rid of Doom, but I needed that scroll. So I went with the Ghost Rider, using Chains of Damnation on Hawkeye there, because I need that scroll. And I hit pretty decent there. That's 2 crits. Ended up hitting for 4 damage. And he is hexed, so he can't roll extra dice for criticals. Doesn't matter. And I had that scroll.
Alright, so HELA is now gonna try to get the Punisher using Reign of Hell.
Two damage. He had 3. He's on 1 health now.
I'm just not doing well this round.
Frank is just awesome. What can you say? You don't mess with the Punisher. Not even HELA got us to death.
Alright, so this is where I made a mistake. So I used 3 of my claim soul tokens to attack him. I had everything I got. I was on my damage side, so I had planned to save those for if I got knocked out. And I didn't, because we thought this was going to be the last round.
And that great Marine there finally leaves the battlefield. That was partly my fault, too, in the boost. I thought it was round 6. There are lots of things going on at this time. So I was like, sure, do it. What's the problem? And she did. And it turned out it was only round 5.
It was a mistake.
Mistakes were made.
Bad move.
So I'm activating Nebula now. She's going to use some Pew Pew Energy Pistol on Black Widow. I had the Assassin roll, and I rolled a critical, so extra die roll and then re-roll one of them. And I end up doing 3 damage there. Or hitting for 3, I should say. And I did 3. And another. Did 3 damage there. I rolled for 3, I should say. Keep on saying I did. It's not over till it's over. But that was enough to take out Black Widow. Winter Soldier did nothing. He just stayed to claim that point, and on to round 6.
Okay, so Hawkeye is going to attack Ghost Rider. And I don't know how this happened, but I used Unearthly Rage on his arrow shot, and I had already used Unearthly Rage, so we didn't figure that out till we rewatched this. So I'm glad that I didn't get anywhere with this roll. Nothing happened, really. Luckily. Okay, so arrow shot, and this time totally legal. So 4 damage. And you block 1.
All right, so I had a couple options here. I could have played it safe, but I was trying to go for the win. This is round 6. And the win stated I had to try to take the console and knock out HELA and VALKYRIE, because they would have come after Ghost Rider together. I said I could have easily just taken out Hawkeye and stayed at the console. Decided not to. So I used HELA on wheels to get my first move in. Then I did a normal move to get over there. Get a nice beam attack here. And I am going to do the Flames of Hell on VALKYRIE and HELA, which I don't know if it really works on HELA, but we're going to find out. Controversial move. Alright, so Flames of Hell on VALKYRIE. Hit for 3. Well, at least it all went through. And she's on fire now. She's incinerated. Now I'm doing that on HELA. And I hit her for 4. And again, I had forgotten A, that she only had 4 on her wounded side. And B, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the one that told Nikki to boost the attack to kill Punisher without even realizing that was turn 5. So I just KO'd her. And she could have used those souls to keep herself in the game.
I could have, but that was my decision.
I know, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
So now I have to hope that I can survive VALKYRIE.
Alright, so VALKYRIE's going to use Dragon Fang. 5 hits.
And I block 1. There goes the epic ride of the Ghost Rider. So Nikki grabbed the scroll, and it's onto Nebula. I missed somehow filming her moving. The camera just messed up big time at this point. Not sure what happened. But I made a move to get within range 2 of Hawkeye. And then I made a shock sword attack on Hawkeye. I'm telling you this because, for whatever reason, the camera did not start until it was all said and done. So, yeah. Listen to the soothing sound of our voice, I guess. Did not do anything to him, and Winter Soldier didn't move. And that's the end of the game. Asgard wins 17-12. So yeah, we ran into some technical difficulties at the end. We apologize, but I think you all get the gist of that game. It was a really fun, very intense game. I think the first one that we played that's gone all the way to 6 rounds. I feel like my end of it was a little controversial, in my own brain at least. I could have basically stalled to tie the game up by moving Ghost Rider to the point where you would really have a hard time getting him, but again, I felt like that was a stall tactic, that you had enough power to take him out. So that was just a really good game. What are your thoughts right now on?
I thought it was good. You really came back in the end. I was pretty convinced that you might beat me by, like, when we were in round 5. I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna win this.
I had the ability to, and that's what makes a good game to me. When there is a clear chance of victory at the end, no matter, what the rest of the game looked like.
Yeah, it was exciting at the end. I think we were both exhausted.
We really were. I mean, you see this game, it's at the 46-minute mark. That was 2.5 hours for us, for various reasons. There's a reason why we will never live stream. Life happens too much with us. But yeah, so
what did you think of Punisher?
As Nikki knows, I absolutely love the Punisher. I have been waiting for him to come out. I was a little disappointed at first. I was like, everything I seemed to try to do with him was not working. And then in the end, with the Doom Prophecy, that was the move I was kind of waiting to make. And he really shone in the end. Not only after taking out or dazing Valkyrie and HELA one after the next, then like a boss, he survived basically 4 attacks from 2 of your hardest hitting people, only being taken out in the end. Punisher is, again, he's just awesome. And I thought this was thematic for me. Like I mentioned earlier, the Suicide Run, where in that storyline he took on all his big villains at the time, knowing full well he wasn't going to survive. But he figured take him out, and that would be good enough. And to me, that's kind of how I felt at the end. This was very thematic, and that's why I love Marvel Crisis Protocol. The characters play like they do in the comics, or they play like they act in the comics, and I was able to kind of play out one of my storylines with the last run of the Punisher against 2 Asgardian demigods, basically. So
yeah, that was fun. That was good.
So what did you think about HELA? Speaking of demigods,
I really liked HELA. I thought she was really fun. I love playing the Asgardians anyway. I think they're kind of like you said, they're reflective of their characters. Of course, you read the comics more than I do, and I've mostly seen just the movies, but still, it's pretty neat. I like it.
Yeah, well, the comic HELA is not like she is in the movie, and I believe this is the movie version, so.
Right. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but it does seem like it. But I messed up with her claim souls. She could have traded 3 claim souls in and survived. Was it a knockout or a daze there at the end?
Yeah, I would have knocked her out, and you would have saved it.
Yeah, and that's when you can turn in the 3 souls anyway, is when she's knocked out, and then she would have had it takes all the damage and gives her 4 back. So I wish I had done that, just because I had that in my head the whole time. So it was like, I just kind of dropped the ball at the end.
Yeah, I mean, again, mental exhaustion. I don't understand how people can do 2 or 3 games. Tournaments, my goodness, must just be exhausting. Well, they are. I mean, I've played tournaments in the past. I couldn't do that right now. This one game, like I said, was exhausting. And near that end, I wasn't wanting it just to be over with, but I was ready for it to be, done. I wanted to see who was going to come out. I was very concerned playing an unaffiliated list against the Asgardians, because they do have a very strong leadership ability. You have some very strong Asgardian cards. Having said that, the unaffiliated cards are very good as well. You just kind of have to play them right. And I'm not saying I played them perfectly or even right, but I feel like I played them well. I hate Odin's Blessing so much. Because it inevitably, you've got this great attack on somebody on your side, and you're like, oh, nope, sorry, 1 damage. But I just scored 12. Nope, 1 damage. So, yeah, that is so frustrating. Yeah. I know you feel like you don't play it right at all the time, but when you play it, it just makes me want to tear what little hair out I have.
Right. Well, I feel like with every game, I hopefully get a little better.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was fun, and I think you definitely could have won with your unaffiliated team. So
yeah, I definitely am going to try them again. Probably the same team, Nebula. I think this was my first game with Nebula. She did awesome. I really like Nebula. You kind of have to plan a little bit ahead with her, because you're not going to be able to take any objectives. You're not going to be able to hold up anything. But the fact that she has the assassin ability on people who do hold objectives or tokens, it really feels like she's rolling more dice than 4 a lot of times. And I love that. She's phenomenal. She's up there with Okoye for my 2 pointers.
And in some ways that takes the pressure off. I mean, that's what she does.
True, yeah.
So it's like you know to plan that way for her. You don't have to really think about it in any other way, which I like.
Our 5 pointers for me, Ghost Rider. I love Ghost Rider. I kind of failed at the end with him, but his HELA on wheels is so nice. I used that twice. I did have Pact with the Devil. I didn't have enough power to use it at the end. And it wouldn't have mattered because on the round 6 when you took him out finally, he would have been halfway across the field, so that wouldn't have mattered. But your 5-pointer, Thor.
Yeah. That he didn't do well. You know, I love Thor, but
yeah, we were kind of talking about this earlier. He is the less colorful of all your Asgardians. Of all the people, he's got very, not generic, because they're not generic at all, but they're straightforward and they're not flashy. Everyone else on your team is flashy. HELA, Angela, Valkyrie, Loki, they've all got this really crazy stuff they can do. And Thor's like, I'm going to hit you with hammer or lightning. Yay! So he's a straight, I always thought straight damage beast would be good.
Well, I think he is good, but you're also targeting him.
Well, yeah, he's a target.
So
he's a massive target.
All your guys are going after him, so I just have to learn how to be sneakier and play him better. So.
Yeah, well, Thor is not known for subtlety, so. But overall, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that game. Any other final thoughts on our first of the unaffiliated battles?
I don't think so. I think it was a really good time, though.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you all watching this. We really are enjoying making these, and we're getting some really good feedback again. And on to the next game.